but it's time to buy a machine and you don't know which one to choose. There's so many out there, so many different reviews, so many manufacturers. I'm going to teach you how do you break it down so you choose the best machine for you. First thing you need to take in mind is what does the machine offer versus the services you're going to offer. There's no use in buying this big bulky machine with 12, 9, and 1 if you're only going to be doing 2 of those services. Also, be mindful of your budget. Be mindful of your space and all what you plan to do. Make sure your machine has a warranty. Make sure you ask about getting a manual also before you receive your machine, because even though you know cavitation, you know what you're doing, you know radio frequency, however, every machine can be very, very different. So those are a couple things you want to look out for. Now, diving into the specifications. A lot of times for cavitation, you'll see 3 numbers, 20, 40, and 80. Sometimes 30 as well, followed by KHZ. What does that mean? K stands for 1,000. The HZ is short for hertz. Hertz is a measurement of frequency. Anytime a measurement of frequency is above 20,000, it is considered ultrasonic. That's how we get ultrasonic cavitation. So we know what cavitation does to the body. We know that it's being a frequency that's being emitted that ruptures the fat cells. When it is 40K, we know that it is 40,000 cycles per second. When it's 80K, it is 80,000 cycles per second. When it's 20K, it is 20,000 cycles per second. That is why it is a very different ringing or whistling that the client hears in the ear with the different frequencies, because one is moving at a different rate or rhythm than the other. Now, does that mean that one is going to work better than the other? Possibly. Sometimes person A can get a fabulous result from 80K and person B can get no result from 80K. It is believed that 20K is the best. Who really knows? It comes with practice. Everybody is different. But that is what the K, H, and Z signifies. Also, with all of the cavitation, we're going to make sure that we do lymphatic drainage after it. We have to have lymphatic drainage within the mix. Lymphatic drainage is going to help further decompose and break down that fatty cell so it can move to the liver. It is essential. It is absolutely essential to couple it with cavitation. So if you don't take anything else that I've said about cavitation, please take this. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Just kidding. Anywho, let's do the clap test. Now, this is how you're going to break down the 20, the 40, the 80, because we know it's a cycle. If I do 20 claps in a second, they're hitting, right? If I do 40, I got to go faster. They're not hitting as strong. If I have to do 80 of those in a second, they're definitely not hitting as strong as the 20 because I have enough time to really hit. That's how the 20, 40, and 80 is different. It's the number per second. That's why a lot of people feel like 20 is better, because the intensity is able to be stronger because it is less. Radio frequency is a little different, but not too much. Radio frequency is what's going to give us that tighter, firmer, more healthier looking skin, because it's helping give a boost in our collagen production. When you see your machine's specifications, you're going to see a range of 1 MHz to 5 MHz. Now, the M stands for megahertz. Mega is going to be million. So 1 megahertz to 5 megahertz is most of the time the specification range that you're going to see on your radio frequency. The lower the hertz, the higher the power. So a 5 MHz would be less power than a 1 MHz. The last specification that you may look for on your machine is the laser lipo specification. Laser lipo uses low intensity cold diode laser to shrink fat cells. Now, you're going to see an NM, that's nanometer, and that is a measure of length. You're also going to see MW, which is a milliwatt. Milliwatt is what's important. That's going to be the power. So the higher the milliwatt, the more power. NM is the wavelength. That stands for the color. Usually, I think it's in the 400s, is like a violet. 500s is like an oranges, and 635 and up is what you'll usually see on your laser lipo because that signifies red. I hope this information helped. It definitely helped me in the beginning. Specifications can be so tricky, science can be tricky, but I hope I gave you something that will help you choose your machine. Also, go to www.beautyhavenacademy.com. There I have online courses that are very interactive, very informational, and I'm always adding courses. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Don't forget, subscribe and to follow